Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be doing another Q&A, answering some viewer and student questions, so stay tuned for that. And then if you haven't already, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, 1-inch punch that bell notification, and give this video a thumbs up if you can. Now we are at 999 subscribers, so when we hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, I will be giving away a limited edition Tao of Jeet Kune Do hardback, Bruce Lee's Tao of Jeet Kune Do, the 2019 limited edition hardback. Beautiful book. You're certainly going to want to get your hands on that. And I'll be giving that away when we hit that 1,000 subscribers, which is just 1 subscriber away. I'll be doing a thank you to the 1,000 subscriber video, and any and all those that leave a comment on that video will be entered in to win. And I'll be doing a drawing, and it'll be a lot of fun, and your chances of winning this book are really good. So take advantage of that if you can, if you're interested. Now let's get started with these questions. Question number 1, should you be locking out your elbow when you're punching? Well, when you're punching a target, a person, an opponent, an attacker, you are locking your elbow out as you punch through that target. So once again, the keyword here is punching through a target and not at something. So when you're hitting that heavy bag, you're not trying to hit that surface of the heavy bag, you're visualizing punching all the way through that heavy bag. Now you can always watch the video I filmed with proper punching mechanics, but the key when punching is to punch through a target, not at a target. So when I'm punching through that target, I am locking my elbow out. I'm not stopping short here. Now when you're just doing some basic chain punching, I'm almost stopping just a little bit. I don't want to say I'm locking out. I'm stopping a little bit before that lockout occurs. Now, if you're feeling any pain in your elbow, there's a chance that you're doing a hammer fist with your punch. So if you're coming down like this, if you're punching like this, you're going to wind up getting damage on the elbow. The triceps pushing out that punch here, and when you do that and you lock out, you're not getting any pain as you punch. So when I'm coming through here, I'm getting no pain, and I'm able to lock out my elbow. I just think all too often people think lock out and they want to really snap it hard at the end. You want to be careful with your joints. If you're doing a lot of practice, a lot of punching, you need to take care of your joints and need to make sure you're punching in good form. So are you locking out? Yes, you are locking out as you're punching through your target, but once again, proper form is crucial. Make sure you're punching out, pushing through with your tricep, not hammering down here. This will definitely cause some pain in that joint around the elbow. Great question. Next question, in a front stance, should you be pulling your shoulders back or should they be neutral? Well, one thing you don't want to do is lean back. So you're not pulling your shoulders back like you'll see a lot of people leaning back, definitely not. And you know, when you do like a bench press, you pinch your shoulder blades together, you're not doing that either. So if I'm in a good front stance here, I know you can't see my feet here, my hands are back, everything's nice and relaxed. My upper back is straight, my shoulders are relaxed, I'm keeping a good upright position, I'm not slouched forward. So I am pulling them back in a way to keep my shoulders straight, but more in proper alignment. I'm not pinching them back as if I'm getting ready to do a bench and I want the shoulder blades pinched together, like I'm trying to grab something between my shoulder blades. So I'm not in that position. I'm in a nice relaxed position. So your shoulders are perfectly relaxed, but you're not leaning back and you're not pulling them back. So when I come through here, they're here. I'm not pulling them back like that. They're just in this nice, relaxed position. That's another great question. This next question, do you use head movement to avoid or slip attacks in Wing Chun? And he had mentioned that another Wing Chun practitioner had said that you do not use head movement to avoid punches or to deflect attacks, meaning basically bobbing and weaving. Do Wing Chun practitioners bob and weave to avoid getting hit? Now, to answer that kind of as short and sweet as possible, no, we don't. We don't use that head movement like you see where we're standing still and just trying to use our head movement to avoid getting hit. We're stepping off that line of force and using our hands to create an angle of deflection to fill space reinforce some protection. So if a punch comes, I'm stepping off the line of force and I'm filling some space, and we rely more on our footwork and our hands to avoid getting hit. But that does not mean there's not a time and place where head movement isn't called for. You might be, and there's numerous, so I'm just gonna mention one or two. You might be taken off guard and a punch comes from the side and you tuck under the shoulder and kind of slip. Or maybe it just came out of nowhere and you're just using that little bit of a head movement to slip that attack. So in an instance, it might be called for. But in an ideal situation, if you're seeing that attack coming, you would use your footwork to put yourself off the line of force, filling space to protect yourself, creating angle of deflection, and also put you in a more advantageous position to attack. So in a nutshell, we're not sitting there bobbing and weaving, but there are some instances where it definitely can come in handy. So you don't want to just throw everything out the window there. Great question, thank you for asking. So I got another question where somebody said they were interested in learning Wing Chun or possibly JKD or Aikido, and they wanted to know if they are similar. Well, they all have different histories, and they do share some similarities, such as not fighting force against force, using economy of movement, economy of energy, redirecting other people's energy. So they do share some common concepts and principles, yet they are completely different arts. Now, what I always recommend for you to do is to see what's available in your area. If you have all three, if you have an Aikido, a JKD, and a Wing Chun school in your area, go see those schools. See which one of those you like, watch the class, talk to the teacher, talk to some students. You might even be able to take a trial class, and then you can go and make the best decision for you. You know, martial arts, there's so many different martial arts out there. It's like saying, if we all go out for a slice of pizza, or we all order sushi, we might be ordering different sushi rolls or different slices of pizza. Some like mushrooms, some like pepperoni, some like just a cheese slice. So we all have different likes, we all have different goals and different needs, and all martial arts can be great and serve a good purpose. You just have to find out what you're really looking for and what works best for you. Now, if you ask me, I would sell you on Wing Chun, say Wing Chun's the best and this is why, and give you a zillion reasons why I love Wing Chun so much, and why I think it's such a great art and why I would choose that over the others. But what I would recommend you do is also speak to the JKD master, speak to the Aikido master, speak to a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu expert, and get their opinions, because you're going to hear that side of the story from an expert in that field, and that way you can kind of take all this information in and make ultimately your own well-educated decision. So always just go out and speak to an expert in that field and get their opinion. I can tell you what I think about Jiu-Jitsu, JKD, Aikido, all these martial arts, but I would always recommend you go speak to an Aikido expert who's been doing it for decades and get their opinion. Now, what I found, and I'm just going to say this, what I found with a lot of JKD is they teach a lot of trapping and a lot of concepts and principles similar to Wing Chun, but I find they've usually had really subpar Wing Chun instruction, so a lot of that is very watered down and kind of weak. Now, I don't mean, once again, every teacher, every class is going to be different. A lot of people, I think, are just trying to piggyback off Bruce Lee's name. Therefore, you know, they're teaching kind of mix match things without really understanding the core principles of Wing Chun like Bruce Lee did, and that's a whole long story for another video. But once again, that's why if there was 5 JKD schools, you'd really want to go see all, or Wing Chun schools, or whatever that is in your area, go see all the schools, and that way you can kind of get a really good feel of what's the best school that you like, where you enjoy, where you see the students interacting, where you think you're going to get the best education and the best training. So that's a very good question. Once again, keep these questions coming. Great question. Now, here's a silly question. What's the deal with this hat? Somebody asked, why are you always wearing that hat? Well, long story short about this hat, I'm not really a hat person, But my son, his first words was Papa. So when I saw this hat in the store, it was one of those things that was at the checkout line. I saw it there. There was one of them. I grabbed it and I just had it in my truck, and he'd always see it and say Papa, and I just thought that was cute. Now, like everybody or many people out there, haven't been able to get a haircut in so long, so this is the only hat I had. So rather than filming everything with the kind of this fro head, I am wearing the hat. So is it my lucky hat? I guess it's becoming my lucky hat, but that's the story with the hat. And I hope to have, and I will have actually, and I'll be announcing that in the next day or two, some Wing Chun hats for you in the very near future. Now, a student asked a question about the Wing Chun Online program. He joined the program and wanted to know at what pace he should be going through the program. Now, this is the beauty of the program. You can go through it at any pace that works best for you. Some students learn really quick, some learn really slow, some have a lot of time to dig into it, some don't have really much time at all. So that's the wonderful thing about this program. You can go over things over and over and over again at your own pace. How it works is on your first week, you sign up, you're at week 1 lesson, and you have a ton of videos, a ton of training material to go over. If you have the time to go dig into that, you can cover all that material, practice it throughout the week, and then you'll be ready for the second lesson when it appears. Example, some students will just tackle that in one day, and they'll just go through that in a day, practice it all week, they're ready to go for their next lesson. Some students, that might take them a week or two to go through, and then they already have the second or third lesson, they start to feel like they're getting behind, but you're not. You can just go back and rewatch these videos and learn at your own pace, or you can jump into one of those lessons and then go back and finish some things up that you might not have covered in another lesson. I gave everybody a ton of information to review. I really didn't want to give you too little, so I felt like giving you more was better, and I just gave you a ton of information for you to cover in that first week's lesson to get you through in case you were one of those just die-hard go-getters. I just wanted to give you a ton of content to buckle down on, work on, and get into that next lesson. So never feel like you're getting behind, and you're never gonna feel like, oh, I'm ready to move on. If you feel like you're ready to move on, most likely you probably should be practicing those that first lesson a little bit more. It's not something you watch once and you're done. Watch those over and over, really own it. Once again, I'm giving you it in all the detail possible. I'm leaving no stone unturned. That way you can really own the art and not have secondhand kung fu. So an example, that first lesson, I go over some stancing, some punching, Silam Tao, the first 3 sets of the Silam Tao form. That's a good chunk of the Silam Tao form. That should keep you busy for the first week. There's nothing wrong with going over just the first 3 sets of the Silam Tao form. That's enough information for you to really sit there and master in 1 week and be ready for your second lesson, where we go over stances and so much more. So each lesson gives you tons of great information. Learn at your own pace and ask me as many questions as you like. I'm always here to help. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if there's any questions, anything you'd like me to cover in future videos, please leave them down in the comments section down below. I'll be happy to get to it in the very near future. I will be putting up a link this weekend in one of the videos where you can purchase some of these shirts if you're interested. I had some people ask about that. And if you haven't already, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, 1-inch punch that bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos to come. And if you made it this far, just give the video a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. I wish you and yours well, and I look forward to seeing everybody in the next lesson. Take care.